I want you to say more about this, because you
Okay.
just hit something that I realize I don't really understand,
Yeah.
which is, so if you talk about humility as a Moses, right? So who was obviously in the court of Pharaoh, who was a king, a prince, if you will, who was the leader. When people think, so what does that look like? How would you describe that to someone who needs to identify with that?
Right. Well, when I think of Moses' humility, he was described as being meek, right? And so I think of the Moses that I would identify more with as someone who's a member of a group that's often marginalized, is the Moses who was out in the desert and was called back to speak hard things and to lead his people out, and he felt like, you know what, I'm not equipped. Like at that point, he was really identifying as an Israeli, and he was identifying with the oppression. And so he was like, even though technically I grew up in Pharaoh's home, I'm not one of them. I'm an Israeli, and I don't have the power. I don't have the confidence. I can't go back and lead. And I think that's a place where a lot of people of color, low income leaders come from, where society has basically said this whole group is not important, doesn't bring much to the table, isn't valuable. And so to be a humble leader in that context is to rise up.
Nice.
And to engage with the vision that God's given, even if society isn't confirming that and affirming that. And it looks really, really different. So it might come off as strong and as saying, I disagree with the way things are, and I want to be part of the liberation process. And that can be really off-putting to people who are like, no, but to be a leader is to be a servant leader. And so then the leaders who believe that can easily shut down the other, can be impediments,
Right.
can make things more difficult. And so a lot gets lost in translation there, and it can end up being another unfriendly environment to diverse voices, simply because they're not understanding where people are coming from. And if I don't know where I'm located in the social system, I can't understand where someone else might be located in the social system.